is my talk on finding talent in the new normal. So, hello everyone. My name is Mon Macutay, and a little bit about me. So, right now, I am the founder and CEO of Big Ideas Group. What we do is we're a digital marketing company. We started in 2013, but around 2, 3 years ago, we started helping some clients in the United States find some offshore BPO people for their business processes. So that keeps us busy now. It's also a way for my company to pivot to adjust to the new normal. Previous to that, I was the owner and founder of abubot.ph, which is a toys, games, and novelty gift item e-commerce company. So, but I already sold my rights to Abubot, and it is now with a new owner. And previous to that, my longest career, around 10 years in Level Up as a marketing director. So Level Up is a video game company. We did MMO RPGs like Ragnarok, RF Online, and Perfect World here in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia too. And also a couple of years, I was the marketing director for Friendster. Yes, that Friendster. No? So moving on. So here are the webinar outline. We'll talk about the changes to hiring in the new normal. I'll show you how to find the best. And finally, I'll be sharing some tools and solutions which you can use. Lastly, we'll do a summary and Q&A. Okay, so the changes. Well, of course, like what they always tell us, the only thing constant in life is change. Lahat tayo, everything can, change. And we all must be ready and adapt for it. Uh, and the biggest change really is COVID-19 and the pandemic. Overnight, almost last year, around December, January, we woke up and suddenly the world did not end. But, there are people, lives were lost, anxiety, and a lot of big changes. So, really, there were big changes to our lives, how we work, how we live our lives with our family, how we buy our groceries, how we store food, how we plan for, our social gatherings. And as with everything in business too, things will have to change. Today is exactly 200 days since the Philippines has been under quarantine under this administration. It's 200 days, and I think I've went out around just 2 or 3 times. Uh, the most time that I leave the house is go outside the gate to get a Shopee or Lazada delivery, and some of the people that I know have not left their house too. But we're blessed if you can do that. That means that you can work from home and you have a means to make money and support your family without going to the home. But not everyone is as blessed as us. Uh, some people live in the comfort of their home offices with aircon, a big plush executive chair with a MacBook Air, 100 Mbps. But a common Filipino has to risk everything and go out because they will starve because they cannot put anything on the table. And that really is the entire pandemic also changed the way we hire and find the right people for our companies. So what are these changes to hiring and job searching? Number one, there's no more of this. Okay, you don't expect to go to as an applicant. Di ka na pupunta sa office, fall in line, pick your best, polo shirt, planchain mo, and then fall in line. Or sa girls naman, pick a nice blouse and skirt because it is not safe to fall in line anymore. There's no social distancing, especially in enclosed spaces in office, and this is one of the major changes to job searching or how you hire a person, or if you are a applicant, how you find a job. So let's summarize. Number one, Like I said, gone are the days of physically going to an interview for now. Maybe after the pandemic, it will return, but slowly but surely, there is a shift to digital platforms, which is number two. So it's common now to interview people via Zoom, Skype, Viber, or I've heard sometimes even WhatsApp. No. Number three, work from home skills are a plus, meaning employers will ask applicants if you are capable of doing the work, your job from home. It's not just your skill set, but often the factor is your internet speed. And what's sad is that your internet at home is not dedicated just for work. You can all relate that if you have kids, they consume the most bandwidth with YouTube and Netflix, and they do like 1 to 4 gigabytes per day if they're watching from a smart TV and doing HD. That's why sa bahay namin, we have two. So my grandson has the 50 Mbps and I have the 35 for work. So that's dedicated for his streaming. But if you cannot buy two separate things, you have to figure out, or you have to at least tell the people at home that when you're working, yeah, you have to limit the bandwidth. Also, the environment, no, the work from home. Uh, do you have your own home office? That's good if you do. If not, you can just find a small private space at home and set it up when you do a work. So those are the concerns that employers look whenever they try to ask or interview someone if they're prepared to work from home. And of course, there is a concern for safety. Number four, this stems from, of course, the pandemic and the virus. The safety questions would be from an employee or applicant point of view is, pupunta ba ako sa office? How, what is your safety protocols? Do you test? Do you swab? Do we, have scheduling na shifting? Gaano kalayo ba yung cubicle ko? Those are the concerns. And you have to work with your HR to figure out how to satisfy those questions and be prepared for those questions from your applicants. Number five, there is a shift to freelancing because of unemployment. A lot of professionals or a lot of mid managers to high level managers have shifted to freelancing. Even some in the entry level have shifted to freelancing with platforms such as Caliber, Upwork, uh, and they're finding alternatives. This is because with the also big down trend in economics around the world, they're also laying off people in the US and Europe. And to cut costs, they're trying to find the same level of skill sets, but of course with half the pay or even one fourth the pay. And they will turn to Southeast Asia and countries like Philippines, India, Vietnam. That is why I see a upward trend in freelancing, as opposed to having a regular work. Lastly, the universe just got bigger. What do I mean by that? As of July, we have 45.5% unemployment in the Philippines. That is anywhere from around 30 to 40 million adults unemployed. And that's really sad. And that's no joke. That's that's 40% of our population, 30 to 40% are unemployed. And we will be seeing a lot of people na, sabi nga sa Pilipino, is magigipit ng siktoron. Some people magiging desperate, they will sell their stuff. I've seen in Facebook, people are bartering gadgets for food, diba? And it's really sad. And how does this relate to the topic at hand? Well, because of unemployment, when you post something in JobStreet or Caliber or whatever, or Facebook jobs, you will see a significant increase in the number of applicants. For example, a couple of months ago, we posted something in JobStreet for a virtual assistant, work from home, and we got 3,000. Well, if you add 33 and 360, so it's 3,600 applicants. Biro mo, di ba? 3,600. How do we process this? And people from all backgrounds will apply. You name it, may mag-a-apply dyan. Overqualified, underqualified, etc., etc. And I will tell you how to sift through all these, volume later on. And this is where we segue to the next topic, which is finding the best. So how do you find the best talent, even with ganun kadaming applicants? Let's go through this shortly. First, of course, is you have to clearly define the job description, the KPI, and the compensation package. Make it in simple language. Don't use highfalutin English words or too much technical words. The best tip that I give to HR people or to people who are posting jobs online is to type as if you are trying to explain the job to an elementary or a freshman. Uh, Make it as simple as possible. Of course, there will be some technical words, but try to keep it short and simple and direct to the point. Two is you define the exact skills and experience you need. If you need the CPA, put it there. If you need a certification, put it there. If you need a someone who knows how to do formulas in Excel, put it there. The details for skill sets will be a help because people will know what they're getting into. And number three is what we do is we have pre-employment tests. So yung mga 3,000 na yun na nag-apply, we send out tests in batches. We screen them first. Those that do our first level of screening, which is qualifications, no, for the minimum requirements. For example, minimum requirement is college diploma, 2 years something of a background that we want, and then knowledgeable in Excel, Google Suites, Microsoft Office. If na-check nila yon, then we send them the pre-employment test. So we have a provider, which is Hire Select or Criteria Corp, which is one of the world leaders, and we have paid their license for it so that everything is scientific, and they do the tests for us. We just send them to a link, and we get the scores. Number four is you prioritize the top scorers in your shortlist, and then try to schedule them for interviews, a series of interviews, HR muna, then high level, and then final interview, which is probably the president or the CEO, and that's how you funnel your shortlist. No. Number five, we already discussed work from home and safety concerns sa kaninang slide, so we'll skip that. Number six is make sure that your HR department, or at least your HR leader or manager, is adapting to new technologies and trends. Tell the HR to invest in time in trying to watch at least tutorial videos either on YouTube, or most of the tools have their own tutorial videos. And right now, you can all learn this from home. And then the best teacher, of course, which I always tell my staff and my team, is experience. Diba? Once we have a new app, ang pinaka-paborito natin dyan is sa Pinoy is, paano ba to kalikutin? And pag kinalikot mo, ginalaw-galaw mo, ganun pala. And that's the best teacher. And seven, if you don't have time, outsourcing the job search is also okay. There are a lot of headhunters, a lot of third-party agencies or recruiters out there that can help you, including my company, of course, if you are. So finally, these are some tools and the solutions that you can use. No, so I'll go through each, and then I'll tell you what's popular, and then some are alternatives. Excuse me. So for job search, of course, the most popular is jobstreet.ph. They do have a cost depending on how many slots that you buy. It's anywhere from 5,000 to 30,000 depending on your needs. So what you do is you uh, go to their website, email them, and they'll send a sales agent to talk to you. And then they'll give you the costing kung ano yung kailangan ninyo. Alternatives are, of course, Facebook. They have a good what's this? A job algorithm, and you will hit a lot. But the problem with Facebook versus JobStreet, in my experience, is that Facebook parang medyo pangmasa. If you want to hit entry level, Facebook is good. But if you want to do specific skilled or technical jobs such as coding, accounting, business analytics, digital marketing. Job Street is more better. But for entry level jobs like encoders, VA, uh, Facebook can be a good alternative. Of course, there's onlinejobs.ph and monster.ph. Just try to go to their websites and see what works for you. For testing, what we have is Hire Select. So just Google Hire Select Criteria Corp, and you'll go to their website. So what they have is a bunch of tools and suites that we use to get aptitude tests and skill tests. No, so they'll be tested for logic, for aptitude, for honesty, how fit they are for the job. We even test them for Excel level. So, for example, no, when we want to hire an accountant, we want him to pass at least 90 naman in Excel. Of course, it goes without goes without saying na an accountant must be an expert in Excel, and you can customize these tests according to the position or role. And they even have modular na, like for example, if you're looking for a digital junior digital marketing or community manager, meron na yan. Alternatives, of course, is Toggle Hire and Test Gorilla. They are different, they're different business models or payment methods. Hire Select is a annual license. Toggle Hire and Test Gorilla you will pay per test. So just determine depende kung marami yung usage mo, which you use. So I'm sure my question, so how much are these testing platforms? Well, it's not cheap. So ours is around $3,000 per year, plus plus. So it really depends upon. They don't have a fixed rate. They will customize it to your business and to what you want the testing to do, or how many hires that you are scheduling or budgeting for the year. Toggle Hire and Test Gorilla, if you're pay for tests, it's anywhere from like 25 cents, 50 cents to $1. I've seen online sometimes may mga $4 per test. So if you're testing 1,000 people, that's already $4,000. So or $1 per test. You try to see which one fits you better. Okay, third one is interview. Of course, the most famous is Zoom, but sometimes may mga glitches si Zoom, and so medyo sobrang daming gumagamit. There are alternatives like Microsoft Meet, Google Hangouts, and then WhatsApp or Skype then, no? Which I did not write here sa slides. So just use what you want, but everyone knows how to do Zoom when you want to interview a candidate. Collaboration, this is when you collaborate with with the one that you're hiring na, your team or your HR, no? So there's Trello, Google Suite, of course, everyone knows that. That's the most popular. And of course, for alternatives, there's Asana, which is a to-do list with collaboration. Excuse me, Slack, which is a chat that has what we call terraces, where you can archive and search by topic, and Monday.com, which is similar to Asana and Trello. Lastly, how do you track their time if they're working from home? We use wheniwork.com, which is basically free, but there are upgrades that you want. But basically for us, the free thing works. If you upgrade, it's like $1.50 per user per month. Then the alternatives are, of course, Clockify. TopTal is more of a per project base. So just Google TopTal. When you have a project, you just give a TopTal time URL, and whenever your contract or subcontractual works on the project, nare-record dun yung time niya. And then if nakasulat yun per dollar per hour, then you can bill these people kagad, and it's easy. So summary, we're now 20 minutes and I'm ending it now. To summarize, number one, the pandemic has caused a lot of changes, and we must be resilient. We must adapt, not just in business, but of course for our personal lives as well. And we must be mindful of these little things that the pandemic has caused us to change. No, so in the business, there's work from home, there's shifting, there's some businesses are laying off, some businesses are forced leaves, and we have to be mindful of that. There are millions unemployed, and some are desperate for a job. No, any job. My brother-in-law just arrived from Dubai, and sabi niya there's a street there na may mga Filipino grocery, and when he was driving there may kumakatok. So my brother-in-law works for Emirates, ground staff engineering for airplanes, no? So may kumakatok daw and says, "Kabayan, pengi naman kahit pambili lang ng bigas." Nakakaawa because people were laid off in Dubai, and a lot of them were Filipinos, and my brother-in-law would give, canned goods, barya, and ano. And eventually, siya rin natawagan. Na-lay off din siya sa Emirates. So, di ba, kahapon lang tumutulong ka sa Filipino, and then ngayon, parehas ka na nila. So, yeah, it was sad. But right now, he's back here with his family and trying to make things work. Third is, like I told you, because of the unemployment, there are ways to sift through the millions or thousands of applicants. No? The best way, of course, is to have a screening. Fourth, management and HR must adapt to our changing times. We discussed that already. And you guys have to meet, put your heads together, and list down what are the things that we need to change, or what are the technologies that, we can use to make lives easier, which is number 5 now. There are tools, apps, and even third-party companies that can make your life easier. Okay, so speaking of making lives easier, of course, I'd like to thank Payoneer, for being my payment partner. I used to use PayPal before, but when these guys from Payoneer reached out to me and sent me a comparison, no, I save a lot because PayPal charges 4.4% plus something, so it's 4.8% per transaction. But if I bill thousands of dollars for my client abroad, that adds up. And since Payoneer does not charge that, and in fact, yung Forex niya is better, everything that I save is everything that goes to the business as a kita na, or bottom line, as income. So with that, thank you very much. Here's my contact information, our website, my email, mon@bigideasph.com. If you have to reach out, we can talk, discuss business, find solutions, have a partnership, or just simply chat. And you can visit our website for details about our company. Do you use platform to automate the recruitment process versus manually sifting through the applicants? From John Soriano. Yes, we do. JobStreet has their mini dashboard, but our Hire Select platform, the one where we have tests, also does the sifting through for us. So in our Hire Select dashboard, we can go through everyone that passed, and they will be automatically sent a regret email. And then for those that pass, we can schedule interviews or go a little bit deeper. From Patricia Francisco, how can we retain the best manpower? Well, retention is a different topic altogether, no? So I can try to answer that in like 1 minute or half a minute. So the best way to retain your manpower is, of course, to work with your HR with retention programs. Regularly get feedback on what your employees want. Is it compensation? Is it training? Is it more benefits? So there you go.